Hey, welcome back to Eleutheria, where we talk about all things liberty. And today I'm going to be addressing the fact that South Africa has just observed 5 days of mourning for Covid and GBV victims.
Hello everyone and welcome back to Eleutheria, where we talk about liberty.
Right, so in his recent national address, our esteemed President Cyril Ramaphosa declared that we would have 5 days of mourning from the 24th until the 29th of November for COVID victims and victims of gender-based violence. Now, I just have a few little problems with this. First of all, we have just over 20,000 deaths now. Sorry, I haven't really been tracking the figures. And that's less than the amount of people that have been murdered in the time that ANC has been in power in South Africa. And as for the gender-based violence thing, well, I think during lockdown, the voices became so loud, urging our government to do something about this violence against women problem that we have within South Africa, that they decided to just do some small gesture to appease the people that were speaking out against them. And quite frankly, more needs to be done. Okay. And what we actually need to be doing is we need to be providing safe places where women can go and report these sorts of crimes against them. We need to train our police to deal with these sorts of cases a hell of a lot better. And we also need to empower women in terms of self-defense. Because if every woman in this country became a hard target, then the criminals wouldn't prey on them anymore. However, it seems to be this government's end game is to rather keep women weak, keep them dependent on the state, and just chuck them a few morsels, 5 days of observance for you and 16 days of activism against violence against women. Yeah. It's all ringing far too hollow now, and what I urge all of my viewers to do is to go out, get armed with knowledge and tools, and be prepared to fight back. That's the unfortunate reality of living in South Africa, and that's my solution for it. And if government could help fund those sorts of programs, I think that might be a step in the right direction. Not 5 days or 16 days or however many days they want to set aside on a calendar and virtue signal to the world, because it doesn't solve the problem. Then, about the people that died of COVID. I am heartbroken for families that have lost loved ones due to COVID. There have been some lives cut short because the person contracted this disease, and that is heartbreaking. And I'm not a COVID denialist, but I am acutely aware of the fact that all of us were locked in our houses for a hard lockdown, our businesses destroyed by the hard lockdown, in the name of saving lives from a virus that has a 99% survivability rate. Yes, it is awful that some people's lives were cut short, that in all likelihood would not have happened if they had not contracted this disease. However, to lock all of us up for such a low number of deaths and to continue with this lockdown, with these regulations, despite the fact that there is a 99.9% survivability rate from this disease, yeah, it's, it's getting old, and we all need to start talking out against it. I know of 2 cases of people that died for not seeking, first of all, not seeking or receiving medical care in time because of the lockdown and because of the fear-mongering. So the first one was a mom who had just given birth and was in a considerable amount of pain, but was too scared to go to the hospital. First of all, because of the restrictions, her husband wouldn't be allowed to attend with her. She had a newborn baby, which she also wouldn't be allowed to take into the hospital with her. So she did not seek medical attention in time. And by the time she did go to hospital, the postpartum infection that she had was so severe that they were unable to save her life. Another case that I heard of was a domestic worker, had severe abdominal pain, but was also too scared to go to the hospital, and so she died of appendicitis. That is not something that anybody dies of in a developed country anymore. It is treatable. Yes, it's severe. Yes, you need immediate surgery. But she was too scared to go to a hospital to seek help, and so she died. That's just 2 cases that I know of. How many more people have died as a result of either the fear-mongering or not receiving medical care because we're reserving everything for COVID cases? All over the world, there are cancers that are going undetected. Therefore, people are not getting chemo and radiation treatment in time in order to preserve their life. Around the world, people are not having chronic conditions treated because everything is being redirected to COVID cases. And in my opinion, it's just ridiculous. A year down the line, after we first heard about this virus, it's now time that we start rethinking everything that we thought was necessary at the beginning of this year, because clearly that's neither working nor is it helping. Back to the violence situation in South Africa. Not once has our president addressed the fact that we have a rural crime problem. I'm not going to use the term farm murders because that seems to trigger everybody and make them think that we're only worried about farmers and not farm workers. No, that is not what I believe. I believe when you say a farmer was murdered, that farmer could have been the owner of the farm, or it could have been a worker on the farm. A worker on a farm is still a farmer. All of these people equally are being terrorized by this phenomenon called rural crime. And we need our government to allow us to use the commando system that was so effective in the past in order to curb this spate of violence. When I say this, I am talking for all farmers, all farm murders. They provide our country with food. If all of them pack up and leave because they don't feel safe, or they just move to cities where they feel they will be safer, we are going to have a crisis in this country because we are not going to have enough food to feed our people. Food grows. It grows on farms It is not just very conveniently packaged and put in checkers for you. So, really, I do hope that our government starts giving this issue the attention it deserves, starts treating it with the gravity it deserves. All of the violent crime in South Africa is way out of control, and that is where our government should be observing in order to make a better life for us. Anyway, guys, that is my rant for today. This has been Eleutheria, enlightening South Africa through liberty. If you like this video, please smash the thumbs up button down below. If you're new here, please subscribe, ring the notification bell so that you'll be notified whenever I upload a video or do a live stream. Hopefully, if YouTube plays nicely. And yeah, as always, stay safe out there because it's a mad, mad world. And don't wear a mask if you don't have to.